apologies if you couldn't catch the ball, but I must say that the ball was yellow in color, spongy in nature, and was traveling at around 20 meters per second. The force applied to the ball was around 40 newtons and was projected at around 10 meters in the air vertically. These are all facts that I instantly just made up. But these are important figures, aren't they? Let's say, for example, that the ball was a symbol of the fragments of information we receive on a daily basis, sourced from social media, social sciences, literature, arts, or math. Would you have been able to catch the ball then? Possibly, but probably not. Here's the idea. It's been since 20,000 BC that the earliest of humans were first known to process information. And it all started off with computation, which was essentially in its simplest form, just counting. And then we went on to have evidence of written language, which was a systematic way to record knowledge. Calendars gave time value and allowed early humans to organize something that was otherwise abstract. Eventually, libraries were created to preserve knowledge, and coins represented value of materialistic entities. And this was all until 350 BC, wherein Aristotle came in and verified this information by introducing logic. Ever since past discoveries, we as humans have been known to evolve. And as we evolve, we develop. As we develop, we discover, we innovate, we create. And so we have been on this constant chase of revolutionizing various fields of information. And this has not only led to massive growth and opportunities presented to people, but more crucially, has been involved in paving the path for knowledge. However, we are overwhelmed with numerous sources of newly found information, from fast-paced, intriguing, and highly advanced studies that do not only suggest new ideas, but also debunk discoveries of the past. Yet, is it while we know more of reality, could it be that we may not be able to keep up to pace with our perception of knowledge? While we do understand the specifics of the speed, velocity, trajectory of paths, do we truly know how to catch the ball? The present is what is known to be one of the most rampant ages of development, from different fields, from technology, from smartphones to 4G, and from transport and telecommunication to medicine. One idea that hasn't really taken off yet is the fundamental idea of learning how to learn. And so catching a ball wouldn't have been that difficult if you were first given an outline of the process. Like a math equation waiting to be solved, no matter how methodical it may be, it's still without purpose. And so this idea of having purpose to solve your own problem is what I aim to achieve. And so we have, why you may think that he or she may be the next Pythagoras, Archimedes, or René Descartes, we're not acknowledging the fact that the ideologies, the theories, and the discoveries that they have made is truly and solely based off their own experiences, something that was conveniently presented to us by them. This idea of a systematic approach and formulaic approach to various fields of knowledge may have proved it easy for humans to solve problems, but is dangerously unprogressive to our definition of the subject. Which is why this curiosity, this inquisitiveness, is what triggers learners to think more and forms a huge part of what we call empirical thinking. As a student, I often wondered if academics in school was just a skill or a series of knowledge-based assessments. And so I tried to bypass the system. And so, like many other teenagers, I too failed after numerous attempts. And while the limelight was shed more on smart work rather than hard work, and while this does teach you skills such as time management, this is where I truly understood how the brain works. You see, the brain is highly connected. Neurons can teach, remember, and forget, but they do not do so separately. What happens is, skills need to be broken down into component parts, which can then later on be taught. However, we do not truly know how this learning mechanism takes place, or even where in the brain it does. In fact, evidence from studies done by Gogol in 2012 suggests that victims of stroke have different losses, and so it's specific to their case. So we can conclude that learning how to learn specifically and uniquely to one's ability to grasp knowledge, which can be in numerous amounts of ways, is crucial in terms of retaining, understanding, and applying information with ease. In fact, 93% of the educational professionals may agree that personalized pacing targets help accelerate learning. And while 20% of the students in a traditional classroom have expressed strong interests in fields of science, technology, engineering, and math, we can conclude and we can come to know that how important personalized learning as well as experimental and analytical skills are. But I was curious, and so I wanted to incorporate this into modern-day education systems. So I decided to add in another experience factor of it as well, from previous ordeals by previous students. And so I founded E2D. E2D is experience to develop, and it has been an initiative that is taken over by the students of year 12 that revolutionizes this idea of learning by shifting insights on how to learn rather than what to learn. Our aim is to educate and inform students of the various tips, tricks, and techniques that can be used to excel in several other subjects that is gained by the expertise of previous students. Our vision is to have this ladder-type development progress that increases results and productivity exponentially, right from building the foundations and the fundamentals to inducing high-order thinking skills. And the best part about this is it does not only help people in terms of the education aspect of it, but also negotiation skills as well as decision-making skills, which all revolve around the idea of our perception of knowledge. And the best part is that it brings out the questioners in individuals that we're looking for, questioning how they know what they know. And this leads on to bring in more discoveries for the future. With E2D, we don't deem it necessary to change the education system, but we aim to provide the younger generation with a more greater resource of knowledge, which is the knowledge of learning how to learn. And so remember, if someone throws a ball at you next time, cup your hands, be fast to react, be agile, and be alert. Because whether or not you truly do understand the specifics, what truly matters is if you caught the ball. Evolve with the thought of perception, and so mankind will evolve with everything. Thank you.